You cleaned the whole house on Sunday, every room. You were thorough. You felt that particular kind of relief that comes from finishing something hard. By Thursday, the kitchen counter had its pile back. The bathroom needed wiping again. And the floor you swept on Sunday. You swept it again without even thinking about it, as if Sunday never happened. That's the part nobody talks about, not the mess. The feeling that no matter how much effort you put in, you're always behind, that you're running in place, that there's something wrong with you, with your discipline, your habits, your willingness, because other people seem to manage it, and you can't figure out how. The cleaning isn't the problem, the cycle is. What if the reason your routines keep falling apart isn't because you're not trying hard enough, but because the system you've been following was never designed for you? Not for your schedule, not for your energy, not for the Tuesdays when everything takes longer than it should, or the Fridays when you come home with nothing left to give. Imagine walking through your door and not immediately scanning the room for what's wrong. Imagine your mornings moving at a pace that doesn't feel like catching up. Imagine the weekend feeling like rest, not recovery from neglect. That's what a real routine feels like. Not a perfect one, a real one. Stay until the end of this video. The last idea we'll talk about is the one that tends to make all the others finally work, and it takes almost no effort to put into practice. There is a concept in Japanese called kaizen. Literally translated, it means change for the better. But the real meaning lives in the rhythm of it. Continuous, small, unhurried improvement. Not a revolution, not a weekend overhaul, just a quiet, persistent commitment to making each day slightly more intentional than the one before. Kaizen doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to show up, consistently, gently, in whatever form you can manage today. That's the foundation of what we're exploring here. The first idea is what the Japanese call ma, the art of intentional space. Ma is not emptiness. It's the deliberate pause between things, the breath between notes that makes music possible. In a home, ma is the countertop that stays mostly clear, the drawer that closes smoothly, the surface that, when you glance at it, asks nothing of you. The reason most cleaning routines collapse isn't that people stop cleaning. It's that there's too much to clean. Every surface holds something. Every corner holds a decision. And eventually, the sheer weight of it all makes starting feel impossible. Ma asks a different question. What can stay? Not what should go. What genuinely deserves to be here? Start small. Choose one surface, just one. And for the next week, treat it as sacred space. Nothing lands there unless it belongs there. Let that surface become your reference point for how everything else could feel. The second idea is shokunin, the quiet mastery of one thing done well every day. Shokunin is a Japanese word for an artisan, but it carries something beyond craft. It holds the idea that anything done with attention, day after day, becomes a form of dignity. You probably already have a few unconscious shokunin moments in your routine. The way you always hang your bag in the same spot, or rinse your cup before setting it down. You do these things without thinking. They cost you nothing. A real cleaning routine is built from exactly those moments, not massive effort, small actions that become invisible because they're just what you do. The practice here: identify 3 things you already do without resistance. 3, no more. Then anchor them. Do them in the same order at the same time, every day. Not because a schedule told you to, because repetition is what turns an action into instinct. If you've been looking for a practical structure to build this into your actual day, there's something in the first pinned comment worth a look. It's called the Peaceful Home Kit. And one part of it is a daily home assistant that adapts to your real energy and time, not to an ideal version of your schedule. The third idea is mottainai. Nothing is wasted, not even the small moments. Mottainai is a word of deep regret for unnecessary waste. In a home context, it applies not just to objects, but to time. The 2 minutes between finishing coffee and leaving the kitchen. The 3 minutes while something heats up. The quiet moment before bed. Most cleaning piles up because nothing happens in these in-between times. Then, at some point, the pile becomes a project. The project becomes something you dread, and the dread becomes the reason nothing changes. Matanai asks, what could happen in the time you already have? Not more time. The same time, used a little differently. Wipe the stovetop while the kettle boils. Fold one item from the laundry pile while you're on a call. Put away 3 things before you sit down for the evening. These are not cleaning sessions. They are the quiet filling in of cracks, and over time, they seal the dam. The 4th idea takes the others and makes them sustainable. It's called shuhari, follow, break, transcend. In traditional Japanese arts, students first follow the rules exactly as taught. Then, once the rules are absorbed into the body, they begin to adapt them. Eventually, the rules become invisible, not because they've been abandoned, but because they've been fully internalized. Your cleaning routine has to follow the same path. The early stages feel effortful because you're still in shu, still following, still reminding yourself, still building the pattern. This is normal. It doesn't mean you're bad at it. The goal isn't to never have to think about cleaning. The goal is to think about it less and less until certain things simply happen. Not out of discipline, but out of who you've become. That shift takes time, and small, repeated actions are the only path there. A home that is peaceful is not a home that is always tidy. It's a home that reflects something true about the people who live in it. A home where there is space to rest, to think, to breathe, where the objects around you don't compete for your attention, where you walk in and even on hard days, the space receives you. What we've been talking about isn't really cleaning. It's the relationship you have with the place you live, and quietly, with yourself. The way you maintain your home is often the way you treat your own inner life. When one becomes more intentional, the other tends to follow. If something in this video felt true, if the ideas of Matanai, of Kaizen landed somewhere real, then the Peaceful Home Kit was made for exactly where you are right now. It includes a daily home assistant that builds your routine around your actual day, your real time, your real energy, your real home. It also includes a decluttering planner based on the Japanese Danshari philosophy to help you release what you're holding on to without guilt, and a home maintenance tracker that breaks everything into small, regular actions, so nothing ever becomes a marathon again. You'll stop waking up on weekends and immediately making a mental list of everything that needs to happen. You'll stop feeling like you're always starting over. You'll find it in the first pinned comment. Just one surface, one day, one small, quiet act of care for the place you come home to.